kind of game you would have loved to play in? There was a scrappy, battling display for getting 3 points.
I don't know about that. I was a little bit better than that, Rob. No, it was a great game to win. It wasn't probably a great game to watch. Well, it definitely wasn't a great game to watch. But you know, that's what you need to do, I suppose, if you're going to have any kind of success, whether it's big or small. Know how to win certain games. And you know, when I looked at the side that started the game, and I'm not sure what the average age was, but it was very low. For us to come through that type of experience, you know, the likes of, you know, Brennan and Morgan and Callum and the two young centre halves, it's going to do them the world of good.
Okay, was it the sort of day where young footballers became men?
I think so, and I hope so, and I hope they learn from it. You know, the only disappointment I had was, you know, when it does calm down, when you do win your first and your second balls, then showing that composure and calmness and showing me a bit of quality. And I thought we did well at times, but we lacked that too many times. And you know, we had 3 or 4 one-on-ones with a goalkeeper, and we have to be clinical. We have to finish teams off and put the game to bed.
Yeah, you talk about being clinical, but in Anthony Scully, a man who does, when he gets one chance in the penalty area, tends to put it away. Yeah,
it was a good finish across the goalkeeper, hits the side netting, all good. I think that, you know, he's in a good place at this moment in time. Obviously, he made an impact coming off the bench against Blackpool. You know, he played his part in a good win midweek, and he's got his goal today. He was struggling a little bit in the second half. He rocked his ankle in the first half, and he had a lot of treatment on it. So we didn't really want to take too many chances with him.
And the sending off, no complaints there, do you think, from either team?
No, I mean, listen, he's got his hand around his neck, and he's got a lot of scratches around his face and neck from where the lad had his hands around his neck. So, you know, he almost gave the referee no choice. And if anything, it worked against us a little bit, because we probably thought the job was done. We're a goal up, and they're down to 10 men, and we almost set back a little bit. But again, that's those moments that George Grant and a Liam Bridcut in the team, and a Jackson and a Walsh sort of congeal and get the players together, and you know, almost manage them through the game.
Overall, though, a great battle in display, and I think probably Regan Poole typified that horrific collision into the post, and the fact he battled through to the end.
Yeah, he did, and yeah, listen, he's got that. Obviously, he's Regan's the type of player that can quite comfortably go in at centre half as well at times, and you know, that's why we brought him to the club. One, to try and give us a little bit of quality in the final third and try and get the odd goal. You know, he gets into good goal scoring positions, but 2, he's good in both boxes. So you know, when the ball's coming to our box, we know he's a man and he can deal with it and he can head the ball.
And your 2 centre halves, I'm sure, although you trust those 2 players, that have been part of you thinking, I'm missing my, you know, 2 first team centre halves. How are we going to cope against a side like that? And they stood up to the test.
They stood up really well, and you know, it was almost a bit of a mismatch physically at times, especially when Hanlon come on the pitch, you know, in the second half. But you know, TJ and Lewis stood up to it. Yes, they lost a few first headers, but you know, we were around the ball for the second and the third ones, and yeah, we just had to play a different way and find a different way of winning than we probably did on Tuesday night.
And in a season like this, it shows how a week can change everything. A week ago, we would have been preparing for Blackpool, teetering on the edge of falling out in the playoffs. Now, 7 points in a week, and all of a sudden it looks a little bit more secure. Yeah,
and we've got to stay focused. With 6 games left, we know what we need to secure our position in those playoffs. We know the points that we need, we know the wins that we need. We spoke about that when we came back after the COVID break. Like you say, I think a lot of people were probably writing us off after the Oxford game, and maybe that's worked in our favour, but there's still a job to be done at the minute, and I don't want to sound like a Scrooge, but you know, I'm pretty focused and ready for Tuesday now, and this game is great, it's 3 points, but we put it to bed and move on very quickly.